Welcome back, dear viewers. Well, we are back with our first guest, engineer Yasmeen Alkandari. She is a specialized in green building and sustainability. Engineer Yasmeen joins us on this wonderful morning to tell us all about the latest events that are taking place today due to the designation of the 31st of October as the World Cities Day by the United Nations General Assembly. So the World Cities Day greatly promotes the international community interest in global urbanization and pushes countries in cooperation to move forward to meet opportunities that address challenges of urban development and contributions around the world. So moreover, engineer Yasmeen Alkandari will also tell us more about the World Cities Day in 2024, which was themed Youth Climate Change Makers. This theme highlights local adoption actions for better urban sustainability and also plans that are put in place for better sustainable development goals for local governmental bodies in building a better youth structure to further progress in urban climate challenges. Dear viewers, we are pleased to have with us today in Good Morning Kuwait engineer Yasmeen Alkandari. It's really a pleasure to have you in Good Morning Kuwait.
Pleasure having me here. Thank you.
So, Yasmeen, what are the green building? If I want to put it, in very simple terms for our viewers.
So thank you for this question. I'm very passionate about this subject, and I feel like a lot of people have a misconception on what a green building is. They usually imagine it as a building that has plants or vegetation, and although that might be true, that's not necessarily the definition. A green building, by definition, is a building that reduces the negative environmental impacts and actually creates positive ones, and also enhances the overall quality of life for the occupants.
In simple terms, when somebody says green building, what comes to my mind,
Yes.
Plants that,
Exactly.
trees on the building, less concrete, less construction. Am I correct, or this is totally different?
This is a partial part of the answer, but when we look at it holistically, we have to cater for the 3 pillars of sustainability. So I have to make sure that it's socially appropriate, economically appropriate, and also environmentally. So even the indoors of a green building will be better for the occupant. So you'll feel healthier, more productive, and happier in a green building.
Good, good. That's definitely something very clear now. So it's not only about plantation. No, those 3 pillars are very important. So today, October 31st, and basically is the World Cities Day.
Yes.
Which celebrates under the slogan, Better City, Better Life. What is the importance of green cities and urban development for ourselves and for the future generation? For example, what is, World Cities Day?
Yes. So this is a day where we are reminded on how important our cities are for us, for our development, and for the modern urbanizations. So unlike the buildings, a city looks beyond the walls of a building. It looks at the surrounding of the development as a whole. So we're considering the infrastructure, the transportation. Is it safe for people to walk there? How much the city overall is reducing in terms of the harmful emissions to the environment.
Nice. That's frankly saying we've seen implications of that, in oil companies around the world, by taxation, carbon tax and stuff like that. So that goes into that direction, I guess. So in your opinion, what are the existing challenges and future visions for achieving sustainable urban development?
So there are multiple challenges that are facing us right now, but I want to summarize them into 2 main ones. First is that we really need to shift our mindsets towards sustainable development. And this mindset can only be shifted when there is proper education and proper awareness. The other challenge would be the lack of existing policies. So policies will drive and help the cities be shaped with their own identity and help us towards carbon neutrality, which is the ultimate goal. And these are usually supported by governments. So for example, a policy can be defining zones within the cities that should be low carbon emissions.
So like walking.
Exactly. So to be a walkable city, cars are not allowed to be used unless they're electric. And then even the buildings surrounding the city can be certified and can have specific green building standards applied.
With that, okay, I know totally the point you are, because I've seen it, you know, I've seen it in Qatar, I've seen it in Canada, I've seen it in the US, a lot of places in Europe. And, you know, Kuwaitis travel abroad, so, and they see these things. But let's face it, is this feasible? For example, I mean, would that fly, you know, this kind of, you know, I mean, is it practical? And let's be pragmatic sometimes, you know what I mean?
Yes,
I know, I don't want to put you in a corner, but I mean, is that really practical for us?
Yeah, I feel a lot of people are afraid of Kuwait being a desert climate, but this is not the problem. The problem is, how do we learn to live within the certain climate that we have in the most sustainable way? So every climate will have its own challenges. Like, we blame the heat here, but in a lot of other places they're blaming the rain, for example. So
and being in a heated weather, you know, I think it's not costly like the frozen weather.
I mean, yes. I mean, I hate the cold personally, so I'd rather be here over any other place.
Okay.
But there are modern applications that can be applied, proper insulation, shading, specific plantation that can help create microclimates in cities, therefore reducing the heat in the urban areas.
That's amazing and well said, Engineer Yasmeen. So what are the benefits also of the urban expansions, for example, like those ones?
Yes, so urban expansions, only in my opinion, if done sustainably, it can provide a lot of benefits.
Like?
So the more you expand with the urban development, you are allowing for facilities to be there, modernization, so people will have more options within their space and within their countries. It will also boost the economy, because it's going to create new job opportunities, and it's going to attract international investors and businesses from all over the world.
Nice. So what are the green building specification, and how can we apply them?
Okay.
And plainly.
Okay.
Bluntly.
So I think the more the specifications are impacting the climate crisis, then the more valuable it is. So these can be summarized in energy conservation as a number one, and then you have the water conservation, you then have the indoor air quality, which is related to the human health, and then you have sustainable materials and waste management. And there are a lot of green building standards that will actually help us quantify and measure how sustainable a building is, such as LEED and GSAS. You mentioned Qatar, for example. Qatar, a big part of their city is certified with LEED and GSAS.
I know there is like a really beautiful block called Msherib.
Msherib, yes.
Yeah, you know it.
I know it. I've been.
See basically the electric train goes in the middle of it. That's really lovely. I see cafes around, so people taking strolls and walking around. That's frankly, we need to see this in Kuwait also.
Yes, we do.
So what about the material cost compared to normal buildings?
Okay,
is there because you know a lot of people think money, cash.
Yes, of course. It's a debatable question, really. And it's very project dependent. So it can be true for some projects and untrue for the others. However, of course, if you want to invest in more advanced technology, there will be a higher initial cost, but you have to consider the savings during operations from the energy and water savings.
Okay, so, and what are the role of, solar photovoltaic energy in green buildings? Definitely, I remember one time when I was doing my master's degree. By the way, I have master's in electronics engineering, so I'm an engineer like you. I remember I was talking to this, he became a friend of mine, we became friends. He's the dean, but because he plays football, so I had to, we play football together. So I told him, if you were a Kuwaiti citizen, what are the things that really have potential sources? He said, you guys have three things. The sun,
yes,
the Gulf, the desert. The desert has a lot of minerals, and one of them, the oil you guys have, and we can do from the sand silicones and a lot of stuff, and you have the sun. So as you said, the solar, energy would be really feasible in this contest.
Definitely, it's a great opportunity to provide a cleaner source of energy because it's a renewable energy and it has zero emissions. So after applying efficiency first in your building and then installing your solar panels, you're even reducing these greenhouse gases and carbon emissions further. So you're being more environmentally friendly in that case.
Nice, nice. So the second Gulf Green Building Conference will be held on January 27th. So could you give us an overview about the current preparation for the conference and its most prominent upcoming events?
So we are very excited about this conference, and I'm excited to be part of it as well. It will be under the patronage of the Acting General Manager of Environmental Public Authority, Engineer Yasmeen Alkandari. There will be a group of experts from all over the world, specifically the GCC region, focusing on key challenges in Kuwait and in the GCC, such as green buildings, green cities, and also the steps towards carbon neutrality. There will also be workshops and a lot of nice seminars over there.
Absolutely, I can see if you can see the monitor with me, this is how, you know, guys preparing for the, you know, and definitely, you said Yasmeen Alkandari, so it runs in the family, the sustainable. Anyway, actually, our conversation really interesting, and I want to go on, but unfortunately we are out of time. And I want you, you know, if you have any last message you would like to say, this is your time and this is your camera.
I'd like to invite everyone to join us in the Green Building Conference, and hopefully you'll learn a lot from the international green building standards such as LEED and GSAS. And lastly, thank you for having me here.
Great thanks and appreciation to our guest engineer Yasmeen Alkandari, green buildings and sustainability expert. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you more and more and in the near future.
Inshallah. Thank you.
Thank you. Dear viewers, stay tuned, please don't go away. We'll be back after this break.